Before modern soap, how did people stay clean? Today, you walk into a bathroom, you turn on the tap, you squeeze out a little soap, you rub your hands together, and white foam appears. 20 seconds later, oil, sweat, dust, and many things you cannot see are carried away by the water. After using the toilet, before cooking, soap and cleaning products are everywhere. In hospitals, schools, kitchens, restaurants, public bathrooms. We rarely stop to ask a very strange question. What did humans do before all of this foam existed? Imagine living in a world without modern soap. No liquid hand soap, no body wash, no laundry detergent, no disinfecting wipes, no clean, fragrant bar of soap beside the sink. But your body still sweats. You still touch dirt. You still handle animals. You still prepare raw meat and blood. You still get sick. You still bleed. You still walk through crowded markets. You still share the same streets, the same wells, and sometimes the same bathing spaces with many other people. Dirt does not disappear just because soap is not available. So here is the question. Before modern soap became common, how did people stay clean? First, we need to correct one big misunderstanding. People in the past were not all filthy creatures who never washed. They knew bodies got dirty. They knew sweat smelled bad. They knew mud stuck to skin. They knew oil trapped dust. They knew dirty clothes could stink, harden, and attract insects. But their idea of clean was not the same as ours. Today, when we say clean, we often mean sanitary. We mean removing oil, reducing pathogens, protecting ourselves and other people. But for much of history, cleanliness often meant something more basic. Looking clean, smelling acceptable, not feeling sticky, having no obvious stains on your clothing, keeping your hair under control, avoiding fleas, and entering public life without making other people step away from you. In other words, cleanliness was not always about modern medical hygiene. It was often about social respectability. The earliest cleaning tool was simple. Water. If people lived near rivers, lakes, springs, or wells, they could use water to rinse the body, hair, hands, feet, and clothing. Water could remove mud, wash away sweat, carry off some smells. But water has one major weakness. It does not deal well with oil. Human skin produces oil, animal fat, kitchen smoke, sweat, dirt, and dust can mix together into a sticky layer on the skin. Water runs over it, but much of the oil remains. It is like trying to wash a greasy pan with plain water. The water moves, the grease stays. So humans entered a much rougher age of cleaning. Friction, sand, clay, ash, crushed stone, rough plant fibers. These do not sound like cleaning products, but they all have one thing in common. They can scrape. If your hands were covered in grease and dirt, and water was not enough, you could rub them with sand, ash, or something rough. The surface layer of grime would slowly come off. This was not gentle skincare. It was a physical fight between the human body and dirt. Ancient people did not know about surfactants, but they understood one thing very well. Some dirt has to be rubbed off. The ancient Greeks and Romans developed an even stranger method. They put oil on the body first. That sounds backwards. If you are already dirty, why add more oil? Because oil can grab dust, sweat, and grime from the skin. Then people used a curved metal scraper to remove the oil and dirt together. This tool was called a strigil. Imagine a congrat. He does not reach for a bar of soap. He rubs olive oil onto his skin. Then he uses a metal scraper to pull away the mixture on the surface of his body. Sweat, dust, dead skin, oil, dirt, all scraped away. To us, this does not look like bathing. It looks more like being cleaned by force. But in that world, it was an important cleaning method. It reminds us that people before modern soap were not ignoring dirt. They were using a different system to remove it. So did ancient people have soap? Yes, but not soap in the way we understand it today. Very early in history, people discovered that wood, ash and fat could create something with cleaning power. Wood ash contains alkaline substances. Animal fat contains oils. They can form a soap-like material. But early soap was often rough. It could smell unpleasant. Its quality was inconsistent. It could irritate the skin. And for a long time, it was not the cheap everyday personal product we imagine today. It was often used for laundry, cleaning wool, treating textiles. So when we say before modern soap, we do not mean humans had no soap at all. We mean that before soap became cheap, reliable, pleasant, and widely available, staying clean was much harder than it is today. In many periods of history, people placed a huge part of cleanliness onto clothing, especially underclothing. In some places and periods, body bathing was not always frequent, but clean linen close to the skin mattered a great deal. Why? Because underclothing absorbs sweat and body oils. It works almost like a removable layer of skin. If that layer was white and clean, the body appeared more respectable. In some European societies, clean collars, cuffs, and linen undergarments became major signs of cleanliness. You might not bathe every day, but if your visible linen was white, and your body was perfumed, other people could see you as well kept. That is very different from how we think today. Today we ask, is your body clean? In the past, many people asked something closer to, do your clothes look clean? Does your smell seem acceptable? Do you present yourself as a respectable person? But washing clothes was its own battle. There were no washing machines, no laundry detergent, no dryers. To clean a garment, people needed water, tubs, scrubbing, beating, rinsing, drying, and sometimes ash water. Alkaline solutions, or materials that sound disgusting today. In ancient Rome, people who washed and processed cloth sometimes used aged urine to help clean fabric. As urine ferments, it produces ammonia. And ammonia can help break down grease and dirt. Workers in Roman laundries handled cloth in large tubs, stepping on it and agitating it so the fabric mixed with a cleaning solution. To modern ears, this sounds horrifying, but to them, it was practical chemistry. And to be clear, this does not mean Romans were washing their faces with urine. It means that in laundry, whitening, and textile processing, aged urine could be a useful material. That is one of the strangest lessons in the history of cleanliness. Something that smelled dirty could be used to create something clean. But the thing that truly changed the meaning of soap was not fragrance, and not foam. It was the slow discovery that the most dangerous dirt is often invisible. Mud can be seen. Sweat can be smelled. Grease can be felt. Blood is obvious, but pathogens are invisible. Your hands may look clean and still carry danger to food, wounds, mothers, patients, and children. Before modern germ theory was widely accepted, many people did not understand the connection between hands and disease transmission. Doctors could move from a dead body or a sick patient to another patient. Midwives could attend births. People could handle raw meat and then eat. The hands looked normal, but danger was moving. Then came a tragic figure. Ignaz Semmelweis. In the mid-19th century, he worked in a maternity hospital in Vienna. At the time, death after childbirth was a terrifyingly common reality. Semmelweis noticed something strange. One maternity ward, staffed by doctors and medical students, had a much higher death rate than another ward. And those doctors and students often moved between autopsy rooms. He proposed an idea that many found insulting. Maybe the doctor's own hands were carrying something invisible to the mothers. So he required doctors to wash their hands with a chlorinated lime solution before delivering babies. The results were dramatic. In some records, the death rate fell from around 18% to below 2%. That should have been a medical triumph. But many doctors at the time rejected the idea, because accepting it meant accepting something unbearable. They're clean. looking hands might have been killing people. Semmelweis was mocked, pushed aside, and eventually died in suffering. Only years later, as germ theory developed, did humanity truly begin to understand the truth. Looking clean is not enough. You have to fight what you cannot see. From that point on, the meaning of soap changed. It was no longer just about smelling better, or making skin feel less sticky, or making clothes look respectable. It became part of public health, a tool to protect yourself and others. The real power of modern soap is that it solves a simple but difficult problem. Water and oil do not like to mix. A lot of dirt is trapped in oil. Water alone cannot easily remove it. But soap molecules are special. One end likes water. The other end likes oil. Soap acts like a tiny middleman. One side grabs oils and grime. The other side grabs water. Then it helps pull that sticky material away from the skin, so running water can carry it off. That is why an ordinary piece of soap can change human life. It makes cleaning cheap, reliable, repeatable, and easy for anyone to learn. You do not need a public bath. You do not need a metal scraper. You do not need to rub your skin with sand. You do not need aged urine for laundry. You do not need to depend on complex craft knowledge. You need water, soap, and about 20 seconds. So when we ask, before modern soap, how did people stay clean? The answer is not one method. It is a whole collection of methods. Water, sand, ash, oil, metal scrapers, linen clothing, public baths, early soap, alkaline ash water, aged urine, perfumes, laundry techniques, and generation of changing ideas about what clean meant. The history of human cleanliness is not a simple story of dirty people becoming clean. It is a story of visible dirt slowly turning into invisible hygiene. In the past, people fought mud, sweat, grease, smells, and stains. Today, we also fight things the eye cannot see, but that can truly harm us. Modern soap looks like a small, ordinary object beside the sink, but behind it are thousands of years of human experience. How water moves dirt, how ash breaks down grease, how oil catches grime, how clothing absorbs sweat, how laundry became a technology, how medicine redefined cleanliness, how public health changed daily habits. So the next time you turn on the tap and rub your hands into foam, remember this: it is not an ordinary motion. It is a simple motion that took humanity thousands of years to learn. Modern soap did not only make us smell cleaner, it changed cleanliness from a form of respectability into a form of protection. And it helped us understand one of the most important lessons in human history. The most dangerous dirt is often not the dirt you can see. It is the dirt you cannot